Yeah, tell him stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. It be like buses, like thick buses. You just see all types of pop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm in favor. When my basketball go over there, I just let it be because I don't want to knock on the door.
Didn't see like my addiction to Ashton, and that was probably almost more devastating. Because it took me seriously away emotionally.
I was down there. There was something that happened. There was I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight.
I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with it a lot because a lot of people don't understand when you say what's going on. It's not just jobs. It's not just.
Oh honey, buckle up, because Ali Carter is dropping bombshells that could shake Hollywood to its core. According to her, this isn't just about glitzy parties or harmless rumors. It's a deep dive into the dark and twisted underbelly of celebrity life. Allegedly, Diddy, Demi Moore, and Ashton Kutcher are at the center of this explosive scandal, and Ali isn't holding back. She's here with stories and, reportedly, receipts that could spell disaster for everyone involved. So, who exactly is Ali Carter, and why are her claims sending shockwaves through Hollywood? Ali says she was pulled into this secretive world at an age most of us couldn't even comprehend. She thought she was attending a glamorous, star-studded event, but what she walked into was something out of a dystopian drama. According to her, these weren't just your run-of-the-mill parties. They were gateways into a shadowy world where reality itself seemed to vanish. But it doesn't stop there. Ali alleges that this wasn't a one-time incident. She claims she became entangled in a hidden, darker side of Hollywood, witnessing events that most people couldn't even imagine. And now, she's coming forward with revelations that could bring down some of the biggest names in the industry. If what Ali is saying holds even a shred of truth, this scandal could make the most infamous Hollywood controversies look like child's play. It's not just about champagne toasts and red carpet glam. Ali describes a realm of secrecy and power plays that's downright chilling. And as she continues to speak out, Hollywood might just find itself on the brink of a reckoning. Stay tuned, baby. This tea is piping hot, and it's only just beginning. Oh, honey, forget the glitz and glam you see on TV, because Ali Carter is peeling back the layers of Hollywood's darkest secrets, and it's juicier than you can imagine. According to Ali, these weren't your standard A-list parties with champagne toasts and harmless celebrity mingling. Nope. What she's describing is a whole other beast, dripping with power plays, hidden agendas, and activities so outrageous they leave even the boldest gossip queens clutching their pearls. Ali claims these shindigs were nothing short of sinister, pulling in some of the most powerful and influential figures in entertainment. And the kicker? It was all happening right under our noses. While the cameras flashed and the world swooned over picture-perfect red carpet moments, a much darker reality was playing out behind those velvet ropes. She alleges there were shady deals being struck, secret schemes being hatched, and activities so wild they'd make Hollywood's most jaw-dropping scandals look tame. This isn't just tea. It's the kind of scorching revelation that makes you question the entire facade of Tinseltown. And the details Ali is spilling? Honey, they're enough to rewrite the narrative of Hollywood's golden image. Buckle up, because if even half of what she's saying is true, this story is about to derail everything you thought you knew about the entertainment industry. Stay tuned. This roller coaster is leaving the station.
The seriousness of trafficking yet, guys. Like, the videos that I've made, the videos that I've started to make, this is not even touching. This is the gist of it. Yeah. You don't live in the world you think you do. And
Carter is about to blow the lid off what really went down behind those closed doors. And trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. Forget the polished image of Hollywood soirees splashed across social media. These gatherings were something else entirely. Ali claims these were hyper-exclusive, invite-only events, where getting in wasn't about fame or status, but about being part of an elite, secretive circle that thrived on control and silence. According to Ali, the vibe at these parties was chillingly calculated, far from the carefree glamour you'd expect. Beneath the surface, it was all about power, manipulation, and exploitation. Stepping into one of these events wasn't just an invite to a good time. It was like signing an unspoken pact. Play by the rules or face the consequences. The energy wasn't celebratory but cold and oppressive, with every interaction feeling orchestrated for some darker agenda. Ali paints a picture of tension so thick it was almost suffocating, with partygoers complicit in what she describes as truly sinister activities. And now, here's the jaw-dropping part. Ali says these weren't isolated incidents. This wasn't just one wild night gone too far. These parties were allegedly a recurring spectacle, and the people involved, let's just say they weren't bystanders. Buckle up, because what Ali is about to reveal next could shake Hollywood's foundation to its core. Ali Carter's revelations take a horrifying turn as she describes the infamous all-black events, which, according to her, were far from glamorous soirees. These gatherings allegedly involved young black kids, not as guests, but as pawns in a deeply disturbing game. Ali claims they were hand-picked under the guise of providing entertainment, but what unfolded behind those closed doors was a nightmare of exploitation and abuse. She paints a chilling picture. These weren't just wild parties, they were calculated setups where powerful individuals allegedly crossed moral and ethical lines that most wouldn't even fathom existed. Ali's account details a gut-wrenching reality that shakes any illusions of Hollywood's glitzy allure, exposing its darkest underbelly. Even more disturbing, Ali claims that the elite crowd wasn't just bystanders. They were active participants or willfully complicit, fully aware of the unspeakable actions taking place. Names like Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are allegedly tied to these events, raising even more questions about their involvement. As unsettling as this is, Ali promises to unravel their roles in these dark dealings further. Buckle up, because the deeper we dive, the more sinister this story becomes.
To shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies.
A meticulously planned operation, designed to ensure that the power dynamics were entirely in favor of the elite. Ali claims the young girls were intentionally selected for their naivety, their starry-eyed admiration for the celebrities present, and their lack of experience in navigating such high-stakes environments. The VIP sections, Ali explains, were not about exclusivity or luxury, they were about control. These spaces provided the perfect cover for private encounters, away from prying eyes, where the powerful could manipulate and exploit without fear of exposure. According to her, this was a system, not a coincidence. Names like Jay-Z and Naomi Campbell being thrown into the mix elevate the allegations to an entirely new level of scandal. If what Ali is saying holds any truth, these aren't just isolated incidents, but part of a much larger, more sinister operation that thrived on secrecy and silence. Her revelations aren't just pulling back the curtain, they're ripping it down, exposing a side of Hollywood most people couldn't imagine in their worst nightmares. It's a harrowing look at how fame and power can be weaponized in the most disturbing ways, and it's clear that Ali isn't done yet. This alleged system Ali describes isn't just shocking, it's horrifying. A machine fueled by imbalanced power and manipulation, pulling young girls into situations that couldn't be further from the Hollywood glamour we're sold. If even a sliver of her claims is true, this isn't just a scandal, it's an indictment of an entire culture. The idea of Hollywood's elite preying on the vulnerable in such a calculated, systematic way is beyond gut-wrenching, it's outright devastating. And then comes the neighbor's chilling account, buses of young girls arriving at Diddy's mansion for his infamous parties. If accurate, this paints a picture of an operation far larger and more coordinated than anyone could have imagined. It raises pressing questions about who knew, who turned a blind eye, and who played an active role. This is no longer about whispers in the dark. This is a reckoning. The fallout, if accountability is pursued, could shake the foundations of Hollywood's elite circles. One thing's for sure, the days of these alleged practices being swept under the rug may finally be over.
Tell him stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. It be like buses, like thick buses. You just see all types pop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm in favor. My basketball go over there, I just let it be.
She isn't just exposing her own pain. She's shining a light on a sickening playbook of manipulation that's far too familiar. The patterns she describes, making young people feel chosen, showering them with false promises and attention, are designed to break their defenses. It's a calculated system where the allure of fame masks the darker intent, control, exploitation, and power. Her comments about recovery included, "What makes this even more chilling is that Ally's story isn't unique. Time and again, survivors have stepped forward with strikingly similar accounts. The glitz, the promises, and the devastating realization that they were being used. These parallel narratives point to something much larger than isolated incidents. They hint at a systemic operation, a machine that preys on youth and innocence with cold precision. The most harrowing part? The alleged perpetrators seem to rely on society's disbelief or apathy. They count on survivors being silenced, either by fear or by the skepticism of a world enchanted by Hollywood's facade. But as more voices like Ally's rise, the cracks in this shiny, deceptive veneer are starting to show. We need to see beyond it. We need to go deeper. The question now is, how long can Hollywood's power players keep this nightmare hidden before the full truth is exposed?
I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with it a lot, because a lot of people don't understand when you say what's going on. It's not just jobs. It's not just.
She isn't just spilling tea. She's exposing what she claims to be a sinister, meticulously planned system hidden behind the glitz of Hollywood's elite parties. According to her, these events weren't chaotic or free-spirited gatherings. Instead, they were carefully designed environments meant to trap attendees, particularly young and vulnerable individuals, in situations where fear and confusion kept them silent. Ally paints a chilling picture. Stepping into these parties felt like walking into a controlled trap. Guests weren't there to celebrate. They were unwitting pawns in a game where the rules were set by those in power. The atmosphere, she says, was deliberately disorienting, making it nearly impossible for anyone to process what was happening, let alone speak out. Surrounded by celebrities and influential figures, attendees felt isolated and powerless, manipulated into believing no one would listen if they tried to tell the truth. The system, as Ally describes it, thrived on fear and secrecy. The calculated nature of these setups wasn't just to maintain control, it was to ensure that those being exploited would remain silent. If her allegations are true, these weren't parties that got out of hand. They were sinister operations engineered to exploit the vulnerable while protecting the powerful. And then there's Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. Their names have now entered the fray, leaving people questioning their roles in all of this. Demi, known for her turbulent past and unfiltered honesty, has already faced intense scrutiny over her personal struggles. Her memoir revealed haunting details about her teenage years, including instances of betrayal and vulnerability. Fans are beginning to speculate whether her troubled past made her susceptible to Hollywood's darker undercurrents, leading to her alleged association with Diddy and his parties. Fueling the fire further, claims have emerged of footage showing young attendees at these events, potentially implicating high-profile figures. If these receipts exist, they could unravel a scandal of unprecedented proportions. Demi's candid revelations about her trauma now seem to take on a darker tone, as people question whether her own experiences mirror the alleged manipulation and exploitation described by Ally. With these shocking accusations gaining momentum, Hollywood's carefully crafted image of glamour and perfection faces a reckoning. If Ally's allegations hold weight, this isn't just a scandal. It's a seismic shift that could expose a hidden culture of abuse and complicity at the very heart of the entertainment industry.
I was in a place that was thinking, wow, how did I get in here? Isn't this interesting? And then my very next thought was,
And if that wasn't enough, fans are side-eyeing this old clip of 19-year-old Demi locking lips multiple times with her 15-year-old co-star Philip Tanzini. And let's be real, it wasn't innocent at all. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Demi's past creeping up. Let's not forget her headline-making romance with Ashton Kutcher. Demi was a whole 16 years older, and trust the tabloids had a field day with that one, but now, it's giving even more drama, with whispers about underage attendees at Diddy's infamous parties. And Demi's ties to the scene, folks are side-eyeing her pattern of dating younger men, wondering if it's more than just a taste, baby. It's starting to look like there's a bigger puzzle here.
like my addiction to Ashton, and that was probably almost more devastating because it took me seriously away.
Widespread exploitation, allegations that could take down an entire web of powerful players. Fans aren't just questioning Diddy anymore, They're putting Demi Moore's past under a microscope, wondering if her ties to this chaotic scene go deeper than anyone ever imagined. When Demi first linked up with Ashton Kutcher, their whirlwind romance made headlines. But behind the scenes, Ashton's tight bond with Diddy may have been the real plot twist. The two were practically inseparable, partying it up in Hollywood's most exclusive circles, with Jamie Foxx tagging along like it was just another Saturday night. Diddy even crowned their crew a modern-day rat pack. But as Ashton grew closer to Demi, Diddy's tone reportedly shifted. Fans now speculate that Ashton might have unknowingly dragged Demi into the dark side of Diddy's high-octane lifestyle, a world far removed from the Hollywood glitz the public sees. Fast forward to today, and the tea is hotter than ever. Busby's shocking claims have added new fuel to the fire, making people question whether Demi's connection to Diddy's infamous parties was more than casual. If she was present at those controversial gatherings, fans are asking the tough questions. What did she see? What did she know? And perhaps the most chilling, what role, if any, did she play? With Diddy now facing allegations that stretch into the most serious criminal territory, this isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's a full-blown reckoning. If these claims hold weight, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for Diddy, but for everyone tangled in his shadowy web, including Demi. This whole situation is heating up to a level Hollywood's never seen before, and if the charges stick, Diddy could be facing life in prison. But the real bombshell? Demi Moore's name could get pulled into this mess, and if it does, we're looking at one of the biggest scandals to ever rock Tinseltown. Diddy's facing some serious allegations, and if Busby's got the receipts, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for him, but for everyone involved, including Demi. Here's where it gets even juicier. Busby hinted that more big names could be tangled up in this web, and if Demi's caught in the crossfire, her career could implode faster than a Hollywood scandal hits the tabloids. This isn't just about Diddy's shady crew anymore. This is about the Hollywood elite, those who either took part or turned a blind eye to everything going on behind the scenes. Demi Moore's life has never been a fairy tale. She's been through the ringer, battling addiction and trauma, even saving her mother from an overdose, a moment that clearly left scars. Fans are now asking, did Demi's own struggles with addiction make her more vulnerable to the toxic Hollywood lifestyle she found herself trapped in? Let's talk about her marriage to Ashton Kutcher, which truly took things to another level. After staying sober for 2 decades, Demi was drawn into Ashton's younger, carefree vibe, and in her memoir, she admitted that during a trip to Mexico, Ashton convinced her to let go of her sobriety. That decision sent her down a path she's still trying to recover from. Her choices didn't just impact her, they rocked her family too. Her daughters Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah are now dealing with the aftermath of their mother's tumultuous lifestyle. But the most shocking part? Demi and Ashton's open relationship, which she confessed was a huge mistake. It created major trust issues, and now fans are questioning, did Demi take that open approach into Dizzy's world? Did she get swept up in something far darker than we thought, while chasing that wild Hollywood dream? Now, Ali Carter is claiming she saw Ashton and Demi up to some seriously wild stuff at Diddy's parties, and if those rumors are true, both of them better start praying. If their names get dragged into this trial, they could be sitting on the hot seat next. Things are getting intense, and the heat is only turning up. What do you think about all this? Drop your thoughts below and stay tuned, because the next video is going to be even hotter.
Yeah, tell him stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. It be like buses, like big buses. You just see all types of hop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm his neighbor. My basketball go over there, I just let him be because I don't want to knock on the door.
Didn't see like my addiction to Ashton, and that was probably almost more devastating because it took me seriously away emotionally.
I was down there. There was something that happened. I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight.
I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with it a lot because a lot of people don't understand when you say what's going on. It's not just jobs. It's not just.
Oh honey, it looks like Diddy, Demi, and Ashton thought they were going to skate by without facing the consequences of their alleged involvement in Diddy's wild parties. But guess what? Ali Carter is here to drop some truth bombs, and she's not holding back. Her revelations about what she supposedly saw involving Demi and Ashton at those infamous gatherings could bring down everyone involved. No one's walking away unscathed. So, who exactly is Allie Carter? She's not some random clout chaser trying to get attention. This young woman has been sucked into the dark side of Hollywood, witnessing things most of us can't even imagine. She thought she was walking into a high-profile party, expecting glamour and selfies with celebs, but instead, she stepped into a nightmare, a secretive, shady world that was nothing like what the public sees. Think of it as stepping into an alternate reality where nothing is what it seems, and suddenly, you're trying to make sense of the madness unfolding before your eyes. But here's the kicker. Allie claims this wasn't just a one-off crazy night. She was drawn into a whole underground world of Hollywood's darkest secrets. And what she witnessed could destroy some of the biggest names in the game. We're talking about a scandal that could shake the very foundations of Tinseltown. The parties she describes weren't just your average red carpet affairs with champagne fountains and A-list selfies. Oh no, honey, these gatherings were something far darker and more twisted than anyone could have imagined. Allie is describing parties that went way beyond what anyone could imagine, bringing in some of the most powerful figures in entertainment. These events had layers, sinister ones, that most of us would struggle to believe if we heard it from anyone else. But Allie isn't backing down. She's laying it all out, and let me tell you, it's not what anyone expected. These weren't your typical Hollywood blowouts, where celebs unwind after a big award show or mingle with other stars. No. Allie alleges that these gatherings were filled with hidden agendas, shady deals, and activities so wild, they'd make even the most seasoned tea spillers do a double take. What's even more jaw-dropping, all of this was happening right under our noses, while the cameras flashed and Hollywood put on its picture-perfect show for the public. Behind those velvet ropes, a completely different reality was unfolding. One that most people wouldn't believe unless they saw it firsthand. And the details Allie is revealing? They're enough to make you question everything you thought you knew about the glitzy, fake world of Hollywood. Buckle up, because this ride is about to get wild.
The seriousness of trafficking yet, guys. Like, the videos that I've made, the videos that I've started to make, this is not even touching. This is the gist of it. Yeah. You don't live in the world you think you do.
Allie is revealing the grim reality behind these so-called exclusive Hollywood parties. Forget the sparkling designer outfits and Instagram-ready selfies. This was a whole other level. These were invite-only events, and getting an invite wasn't about fame or influence. It was about being part of a secretive elite circle. And when things took a dark, twisted turn, the people involved didn't just stand by, they were fully engaged. According to Allie, stepping through the door wasn't just entering a party, it was like signing an unspoken contract. The rules were clear. Stay silent, no matter how sinister things got behind closed doors. The atmosphere wasn't fun, carefree, or glamorous. It was thick with tension, manipulation, and a sense of control. The focus wasn't on celebrating, it was on power moves, exploitation, and disturbing situations far beyond what most could ever imagine. And here's where things get truly chilling. Allie claims there were these all-black events, but not in the sense you might think. It wasn't a sleek dress code or trendy theme. According to Allie, these events were about bringing in young black kids under the guise of entertainment. What allegedly went down behind closed doors is more disturbing than anyone could ever imagine, crossing lines most would never even dream existed. These kids weren't random. Allie claims they were hand-picked, and what happened next wasn't just a party, but exploitation and abuse. The horrors she describes are enough to make even the most hardened person question everything they thought they knew about Hollywood's darker side. What's even more unsettling? Allie paints a picture of powerful, influential people who weren't oblivious. They were complicit. They knew what was happening, and they allowed it to continue. Allegedly, Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were right there, deeply involved. Stay tuned, because we're about to dive into their roles in all of this, and trust me, it's about to get even darker.
The shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies.
Allie is pulling back the curtain on what's really happening in these so-called VIP sections. And trust me, it's far from the glamorous, glittery world most people think of when they imagine Hollywood parties. According to Allie, these areas weren't designed for relaxation or indulgence. They were traps. carefully crafted to serve a much darker purpose. She's name-dropping high-profile figures like Jay-Z and Naomi Campbell, alleging that these exclusive spaces provided powerful guests with private access to young girls in ways that are downright chilling. Ali paints a picture of these VIP sections not as glamorous perks, but as carefully orchestrated setups meant to manipulate and control. Imagine being young, impressionable, and suddenly finding yourself alone with a celebrity you've idolized. For most people, this would feel like a dream come true, right? But according to Ali, it was all part of a twisted game designed to put these young girls in vulnerable situations, leaving them feeling powerless and at the mercy of the elite in the room. And these girls? They weren't just random partygoers. Ali claims they were hand-picked specifically for their youth and naivety. This wasn't some spontaneous act of exploitation. It was a calculated, well-oiled machine, a system designed to exploit imbalance and draw these girls into situations that were the complete opposite of the glamorous Hollywood image we see on the surface. What Ali describes is predatory behavior on a whole new level, and if even a fraction of these allegations are true, it could bring down some of the biggest names in Hollywood. But it doesn't stop there. Recently, one of Diddy's neighbors dropped more unsettling details, claiming that Diddy would bring in buses full of young girls to his mansion for those infamous parties. This isn't just gossip anymore. It's a full-blown scandal that's about to blow wide open. The real question is, how deep does this rabbit hole go? And will anyone in Hollywood's elite circle ever be held accountable for their part in all of this? The fallout could be catastrophic, and we're just scratching
The shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies.
Ali isn't just telling her own story. She's pulling back the veil on a deeply manipulative system, one that feels far too familiar. The tactics she describes follow a playbook, a calculated game designed to lure young, vulnerable people into situations they never saw coming. According to Ali, these individuals are made to feel special, showered with attention, promises of being reprised with fame and power. It's all part of a strategy to break down their defenses and convince them that Diddy and his crew truly care about them. The CIA, but in reality, it's the exact opposite. It's all about control and manipulation, making these young people believe they're part of something exclusive, only to later realize it was all a ploy to exploit them. And Ali isn't the only one speaking out. She's not the first to reveal these patterns of behavior, and trust me, she won't be the last. Time and time again, survivors have stepped forward with eerily similar stories. The glitz, the promises, and then the crushing realization that they were being used. Identity and self-worth. Again, Victoria wrote, the fact that Ali's account mirrors so many others only makes her allegations hit harder. It's as if there's an unspoken rulebook in Hollywood for how to trap young, impressionable people in these predatory situations. These claims suggest that this isn't just isolated bad behavior. It's a systemic, well-oiled machine built to prey on innocence and youth. And the most disturbing part? The powerful people involved seem to rely on the fact that nobody will believe the survivors, or worse, that no one will care. It's a nightmare happening behind closed doors, while the world remains captivated by the glamour and glitz of Hollywood.
I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with it a lot, because a lot of people don't understand when you say what's going on. It's not just jobs. It's not just.
This all ties together in a darker way than anyone could have imagined. Ali's revelations make it clear that these weren't just random, chaotic parties. These were meticulously planned setups, designed to trap and control. The whole environment was engineered to make people, especially the young and vulnerable, feel isolated, disoriented, and powerless to speak out. Ali paints a chilling picture where these events were less about fun and more about creating an atmosphere of fear and manipulation, leaving guests feeling like prisoners in a situation they couldn't escape. And that's where Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore enter the picture. Demi, who's never been a stranger to controversy, now finds herself in a much darker light, as these allegations force people to question the true nature of her past relationship with Diddy. Though their connections seemed casual, it's becoming clear that they were crossing paths much more frequently than anyone realized. The rumors and accusations suggest that there could be much more beneath the surface of this friendship. But things get even more complicated when we consider Demi's own traumatic past. In a recent interview on Good Morning America, she opened up about a disturbing experience from her teenage years, revealing how a man came to her house, claiming her mother had taken money to let him in. In her memoir, Inside Out, Demi describes how her mother's decisions led her into dangerous situations, including being taken to bars as a teen to attract male attention. Now, with Demi's name surfacing amid these allegations, fans can't help but wonder if there's a deeper connection between her past and these new claims surrounding Diddy. The more we learn, the more these connections start to paint a chilling picture of Hollywood's hidden darkness. One that ties the past and present in ways that no one could have anticipated. Demi's painful and vulnerable teenage years might have set the stage for where she is now, as some fans are speculating that her troubled past could have created patterns that led her straight into Diddy's world. In this environment where power dynamics, control, and vulnerability allegedly played out behind closed doors, it's possible that Demi found herself caught in a cycle of manipulation, much like she experienced earlier in life. The revelations about these parties and the alleged footage of young guests are only adding fuel to the fire. With potential video evidence linking some of Hollywood's biggest names to these notorious gatherings, the stakes have never been higher. The idea that such footage exists has sent shockwaves through the public, sparking speculation and disbelief. Demi's already had her fair share of public drama, but with these latest accusations, the intensity has reached a new level. This is a plot twist that no one saw coming, and as more details come to light, it's clear that Hollywood's secrets may be darker and deeper than anyone imagined. And if that wasn't enough, fans are side-eyeing this old clip of 19-year-old Demi locking lips multiple times with her 15-year-old co-star Philip Tanzini, and let's be real, it wasn't innocent at all. But oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Demi's past creeping up. Let's not forget her headline-making romance with Ashton Kutcher. Demi was a whole 16 years older, and trust the tabloids had a field day with that one. But now, oh, it's giving even more drama with whispers about underage attendees at Diddy's infamous parties. And Demi's ties to the scene. Folks are side-eyeing her pattern of dating younger men, wondering if it's more than just a taste, baby. It's starting to look like there's a bigger puzzle here. This tea is piping hot, baby, straight out of the pot. This isn't just another Hollywood age gap scandal. Fans are questioning what really went down in Demi's love life. With her connection to Diddy's inner circle now under the microscope, people are starting to wonder if Ashton wasn't just pulling Demi into a relationship, but also deeper into Diddy's chaotic world. When Demi first hooked up with Ashton, he and Diddy were practically inseparable, partying hard and living large in Hollywood. Their crew was basically a rat pack, with Jamie Foxx always tagging along. But when Ashton started to get serious with Demi, things started to change. Diddy started throwing low-key shade, hinting that Demi's relationship was throwing off the vibe of their late-night shenanigans. Now, fans are speculating if Ashton unknowingly pulled Demi into some seriously shady territory. With Busby's new claims coming to light, it looks like Demi's ties to Diddy's crew go deeper than anyone first thought. Was she just a guest at those notorious parties? Or was she more involved than she lets on? And if she was there, what exactly did she witness or take part in? With Diddy's legal mess reaching a boiling point, everything's on the line, and the stakes are way higher than your typical Hollywood drama. This scandal is escalating fast, and we're talking about serious accusations here. Trafficking, illegal activity, and underage guests at Diddy's infamous parties. If these charges stick, the man could be facing life in prison. But here's the real bombshell. If Demi's name gets dragged into this mess, we could witness one of the biggest scandals Hollywood has ever seen. Diddy's legal team is scrambling, but if Busby's got the receipts, things aren't looking good for anyone involved. Even more shocking is that Busby hinted that other big names could be caught in this web. For Demi, if she's tied to this circus, her career could crash and burn in the blink of an eye. But it's not just about Diddy's shady crowd. This is about the Hollywood elite, who either played a part in it or turned a blind eye. Demi's life has been anything but a fairy tale. She's battled addiction and trauma, including saving her mom from an overdose, an experience that clearly left scars. Fans are now wondering if Demi's own struggles made her more vulnerable to the wild Hollywood lifestyle she found herself caught up in. Now, let's talk about Demi's marriage to Ashton Kutcher. This is where things took a turn in her sobriety journey. After staying sober for 2 decades, she started feeling the pressure to keep up with Ashton's younger, carefree vibe. In her memoir, she confessed that during a trip to Mexico, Ashton convinced her to let go of her sobriety, and that decision sent her on a roller coaster ride she's still trying to get off. Demi's choices haven't just affected her, they've rocked her family too. Her daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, are now dealing with the aftermath of their mother's lifestyle decisions. If these allegations continue to pile on, her girls could face another round of drama no family should have to go through. But let's rewind. Remember when Demi was the Hollywood wild child? She was infamous for living life on her own terms, partying hard and breaking all the rules. It was her world and we were just living in it. But with these new allegations, her past starts to look a whole lot darker. While married to Ashton, Demi even admitted that they had an open relationship, inviting third parties into their marriage. Demi said over time though she regretted that decision, realizing it caused trust issues and blurred the lines of what was real. Now fans are left wondering, did Demi take that open approach into Diddy's world? Did she get tangled up in something far darker while chasing the wild Hollywood dream? Hold on to your wigs because Ali Carter is spilling tea, claiming she allegedly saw Ashton and Demi engaging in some wild activities at Diddy's parties. Yeah, you heard me right. If their names get dragged into this trial, they might find themselves on the hot seat next. The heat is on and it's only getting spicier. Stay tuned because the next video is going to be even hotter. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Interview. Oh honey, Diddy, Demi and Ashton thought they were going to slide right past this scandal and get away with all the mess they allegedly pulled with Diddy? Well, guess what? It's about to hit the fan because Ali Carter, Diddy's so-called victim, is here to spill all the tea, and she ain't holding back. She's got some seriously shocking revelations about the wild things she supposedly saw Ashton and Demi getting into at Diddy's infamous parties. These two have been dodging rumors for months about their alleged involvement in Diddy's legendary shindigs. But it looks like the jig is up, y'all. Ali Carter isn't just spilling gossip, she's coming through with receipts, so scandalous they could bring down everyone involved. But who exactly is Ali Carter and why is she dropping these bombshells? Well, honey, she's no random clout chaser. This girl has been thrown into the dark side of Hollywood at an age most of us couldn't even fathom. I'm talking about the kind of mess you'd expect from a Netflix drama, not something that happens in real life. Ali says she thought she was walking into a high-profile party, expecting glitz glam and maybe a cute selfie with a celebrity toy. Instead, what she stepped into was a whole different world, one full of secretive, behind-the-scenes situations that most people couldn't even dream up. It's like walking into a dimension where the rules of reality go out the window and you're left shook, trying to figure out how someone so young got caught up in all this drama. And wait, there's more. Ali claims this wasn't just a one-time crazy party. She says she got pulled into this dark, secretive Hollywood world, and what she witnessed will have your jaw on the floor. Ali isn't just spilling regular gossip. What she's talking about could shatter some of the biggest names in the game. We're talking about a scandal that will rattle Hollywood to its core. But hold on, this story takes a really dark turn. These aren't your average Hollywood soirees with champagne fountains, red carpet photo ops, and A-list selfies. Nah, baby. According to Ali, these parties were a whole other beast, and not in that glamorous, glittery way we all imagine. She's describing parties that went way deeper, pulling in some of the most powerful and influential names in the entertainment industry. Get this, these parties had sinister layers most of us wouldn't believe if we heard it from someone else. But Ali didn't stop there. Oh no, she's saying these weren't just typical Hollywood blowouts where celebs unwind after an award show or schmooze with other A-listers. She alleges there were hidden agendas, shady deals, and activities so wild that they'd make even the most seasoned tea speller do a double take. The wild part? This was all happening right under our noses, while the cameras flashed and the world was mesmerized by the glitz. Hollywood was putting on a picture-perfect show, but behind those velvet ropes a completely different reality was playing out. One most folks wouldn't believe unless they saw it with their own eyes. And as for the juicy details Ali's dropping, let's just say it's enough to make you question everything you thought you knew about the shiny fake world of Hollywood. Buckle up, y'all, this one's about to go off the rails. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty because Ali's story about these parties? Next level. Forget those shiny sparkly Hollywood bashes you see all over Instagram. Nah. This wasn't about strutting in designer outfits or posing for selfies with the hottest A-listers. According to Ali, these were hyper-exclusive, invite-only events. And baby, the guest list spoke for itself. If you got an invite, it wasn't because you were just famous or influential. Oh no, it was because you were part of a secret elite circle that allegedly didn't even flinch when things took a dark, twisted turn.
Yeah, tell him stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. It'd be like buses, like big buses. You just see all type of pop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm his neighbor. My basketball go over there, I just let it be because I don't want to knock on the door.
like my addiction to Ashton. And that was probably almost more devastating because it took me seriously away emotionally.
I was down there. There was something that happened. I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight.
I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with it a lot because a lot of people don't understand when you say what's going on. It's not just jobs. It's not just